Yeah, I was just thinking, is it the camera or something?
Hello everybody.
Hi.
How are you? Anybody who was with us this morning, hello again. If you weren't, then hello. I hope you're having a lovely Saturday. Welcome to our game session. We do this every Saturday afternoon to practice our English, but in a more fun, relaxed environment. Games are great for learning your English, just practicing, but without having to sit in your books for hours on end. So the game we have for you today, myself, Khadiza and Kel, hello. How are you both?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a little bit tied in with something we discussed in our conversation cafe this morning, which was seasons and months. So I did say to Pearl and Khadiza that for learners of English as a second language, one of the hardest things about talking about time and periods of time is using the right preposition. Is it at summer? Is it in summer? Is it on summer? It's a difficult choice and something you just have to practice to get right. So, Khadiza and Pal, how are you feeling about your knowledge of prepositions today?
We'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
Not too confident.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'll be fine. So everybody who's watching, please feel free to join in, send us a message. If you think you know the answer, tell us. So here we go. Let's have a look at prepositions of time. Okay, so can everybody see our screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Okay, lovely. So Sharon's birthday is in January, or is at January? Now, probably the answer sprang into your mind straight away, Khadiza and Pal, because this is a language that you have spoken all your lives. So, what do you think it is?
B.
Yeah, B.
It's B, yeah, in January.
B, in January, yes. So, this is something, if there is some logic, and there is some logic to prepositions of time, if it's a bigger amount of time, we often use in. So January is a month is 28, 30, 31 days. So it's a big period of time. Therefore, we often use in. So let's have a look. Yeah, of course you're right. Yeah, Sharon's birthday is in January. Did you notice, anybody watching, did you notice that we use a capital letter for January? We need capital letters for names of the months. Okay, my grandfather was born in 1953, on 1953, or at 1953. Khadiza, what do you think?
So it would be A. So my grandfather was born in 1953.
Yes. For a native English speaker, it just doesn't sound right any other way, does it? Yeah. On 1953, at 1953. And again, if you're looking for some logical explanations, 1953, when we say that, we're talking about the whole year. And a year is a long period of time. So again, like with January, we're using in. So that's something you can kind of help yourself with. How long is that period of time? If it's a long one, we may well be talking about a word that needs the preposition in. I don't suppose you've ever thought about it like that, Khadiza and Pal.
No, not really. Sometimes, though, on some occasions, I do confuse myself. Sometimes, I'm like, is it in or is it out or is it on? Like, because, sometimes people are like, oh yeah, my birthday is on Monday. You know, people say that.
Yeah.
But me being me, I like to just confuse myself a lot. So sometimes, for me right now, it makes sense. But sometimes my brain is like, huh, let it not make sense.
So you second guess yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
Yes. So you think that you have the answer, and then you actually talk yourself out of the right answer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So yes, it is in 1953. So let's now have a look at the next one. I went to bed. Hal, what do you think is the answer to this one?
I went to bed at midnight.
Yeah, exactly. At midnight.
Yay.
So midnight we treat in the same way as we treat any time of the day. So we say at midnight, at 12 o'clock, at 7:30. Midnight means 12 o'clock at night. So even though it's a word, not a number, we are treating it in the same way. So at is what we use for those smaller periods of time, at a particular time of the day. Okay, let's just check that out. I'm sure. Yes, at midnight. Okay, next one. In Canada, it always snows. Khadija, what do you think?
So in Canada, it always snows in winter.
Yeah, absolutely, in winter. So it's another large period of time. We've heard 1953, a year, winter, a season, and January, a month. Large periods of time, and we use in. Yeah, well done. If you're watching, notice that we don't use capital letters for seasons. So winter has a small letter. But if we were talking about December, which is in winter, that would have a capital letter. Very good. Okay, so I like to read stories to my children. So, Pell, what one makes sense to you?
I like to read stories to my children. Is it at bedtime?
Yes.
Bedtime? Yeah.
Yeah, at bedtime. Yeah. Because again, it's like midnight. We're treating it as a time on the clock. So at bedtime for a small child, maybe that would be 7 o'clock. So really what we're saying is 7 o'clock. That's bedtime. So, but using a different descriptor. But yes, at bedtime. So we're talking about a small amount of time, one time on the clock. That shop is open.
So me, yeah. So that shop is open on Sunday mornings, would it be? Or
yes, it would. Yeah, very good. On Sunday mornings. Now, if it was just morning, that would be a different answer, which we might go into. But because it's on, because of the Sunday. So when we have day, so if we have on Sunday, on Monday, on Tuesday, on Christmas Day, so if it's the name of a day, on Easter Sunday, on whatever it might be, then if it's got this word or a specific title for the day, then we have on. And again, if you're watching, notice days have a capital letter. Okay, let's just. Good. So is it Hal I'm on next? The train will leave.
The train will leave in a few minutes.
Very good. Yeah, exactly. If it will leave in a few minutes, are we talking about the past or the present or the future?
So in a few minutes, future, yeah.
Sorry, Pearl, I answered.
No, you're right. It's good.
Yeah, we are. We're talking about the future.
Yeah.
So this is this particular use of in as a preposition of time. It's different to when we say in winter, in January, in 1953. In this case, we're using it to show that it's a time in the future. So we could equally say in 3 years, meaning 3 years forward in the future from now. Yeah, very good. So in a few minutes. So where's our next one? My brothers go swimming. So Khadiza, what do you think of this one?
So my brothers go swimming on the weekend. Wait a second, I'm a bit confused.
Yeah.
My brothers go swimming on the weekend. Why does that sound weird?
It sounds weird because it's something that you on the weekend is more of an American phrase. You will hear it on TV sometimes, but
would you say my brothers go swimming at the weekend, or
it is at the weekend, and this is where it isn't very logical. So whereas we've talked
sounds
about
weird for some reason.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, no, it does. So
This is what confuses me. Sorry, Marianne. This is what confuses me. So if I'm speaking to someone and I want to tell them about something, like for example, a sentence like this, you'll just see me stop mid-speech and then have a debate in my head for like 30 seconds. Is it on or is it at?
On my brothers go swimming on.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's very true because if we talk about the logic that I've been talking about before, the clues that you can have. So I've already said that if we're talking about a large period of time, like a year, a month, or a season, then we're looking at using that preposition in. And I've also said that if we're looking at a very small amount of time, a point on the clock, or the name of a point on a clock, like bedtime, midnight, then we often use at, or we nearly always use at. And here I am with a 2-day period, so at the weekend, which actually is taking at, which doesn't quite fit in with the logic or with the explanations that I've given you so far. So the weekend is a little bit of an exception to the rule, because as well, when we're talking about days, we've already said that if we're talking about days, we say on. So if the weekend is not far different in length to a day, so you might think on the weekend, because that makes more sense, tie it in with that pattern. But yeah, we would say at the weekend. But I do hear on the weekend, and I think I hear it more from American TV.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have heard it. That British English at the weekend. Okay. Oops. I sometimes get up. Khadiza, is it you next?
I think it's Pal now, is it?
Okay.
I sometimes get up. Is it at sunrise?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Again, it's that idea. It's the same as bedtime and midnight. Even though we're calling it something different, it does actually apply to a certain point in time on the clock. So obviously the sun doesn't rise at the same time every morning, but it still rises within a short period of time. Yeah. So yes, at sunrise. Oops, no, let me just answer it first. There we go. And then finally, Khadiza, what time does he go to work?
In the morning.
Yes, very good. So this is another one that doesn't quite fit the pattern. If we're talking about in the morning, the afternoon, or the evening, then we will use in. In the specifically, so in the morning, in the. We won't if there's a day in front of it. So if it's Sunday morning, it will be on Sunday morning. If it's Monday afternoon, on Monday afternoon. But if we're just talking about that section, that part of the day, morning, afternoon, or evening, then we use in. And again, doesn't quite fit in with my explanation of a larger period of time taking in. but it is an exception to the rule. We have one difference to that, another exception to this rule as well. Yes, it's in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, but when we get to night,
It's at night.
at night,
Yeah.
at night. So again, slightly different there. Some of these, if you're learning English, you just have to remember. You just have to write them down and learn them. But there are some rules that make it a little bit easier. Okay, so let's have a look at, oh, that's our lot. So there we go. Oh, I've got to answer it in the morning. I didn't. There you go. Well, excellent
10 out
job.
of 10.
10 out of 10. Okay, so let's just lose our screen then so we can see each other. Yeah, I think
Hello
again,
again.
we always have this conversation, don't we, where it's kind of like, but it's my language. How come I don't know why it does that?
Yeah.
I think, sorry, yeah, I think it's just, it's not like, even in Kurdish, there's no difference whether I'm speaking in Kurdish or in English. There's always going to be that confusion where
Yeah,
I'm like, wait.
We
Is
say
this
this every week, like,
yeah.
even though we know it, but we don't know the meaning behind it, or we just say it because we've grown up to speak like that.
Yeah. And then when we're actually speaking it, though, so we'll say it, but then we're like, hold on a minute, that doesn't
you have
sound
to think
right.
a bit sometimes.
Yeah, it's like that on the weekend and at the weekend. That one always confuses me.
Yeah, because
like,
for some reason I feel like on the weekend sounded really familiar, maybe because of the American TV shows and everything I watch. But
yeah.
I feel like some people here as well say it a lot.
Yeah. They do say it a lot. Yeah.
No, they do, and I think when we look at these sort of differences, it happens to me as well. So especially with my more advanced students. So I have students who are learning at level 1, level 2, they're doing their IELTS exam, and they sometimes ask me a question, usually a question that begins with why. And there are times where I have to say, I actually don't know. I'm going to have to find out for you because I've never asked myself that question before.
That is true, yeah, because for a period of time I also like helped some people with English, and although when I was like teaching them some things, to me it made sense, but then as soon as they asked the question, like why is it like this, I had to be like, 1 second, I need to Google it.
Because it just is, you know?
Yeah, it just makes sense. They're like, why is a comma where it is? And I'm like, because that's just how it is. Yeah, it does. When you actually have to teach it or actually think about it, I think even for English teachers, it always happens. It's just yeah.
Yeah, that's right. What happens with English teachers is that eventually we hear most of the questions and we have the answers, but it takes a while.
Yeah, definitely.
And we can always get surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you for joining me today, both of you, for this session. Thank you, everybody else who's joined us today. Some good answers from everybody. And I hope that we have a little bit more clarity about prepositions of time with when we use them. If not, or if you have more questions, please message us. We are here on Facebook, on Twitch, we're on where else are we on? We're on YouTube. Message us and always ask a question. We'll be happy to answer. And anytime that anybody feels like commenting or joining in with our sessions, you'll always be very welcome. So in the afternoon, if you're available at 7 o'clock this evening,
come join us.
Yes, go onto the Community Courtyard website or Facebook page or
on the Facebook page, it will be live on Twitch and Facebook. Yeah.
Perfect. Follow the link to what sounds like a very fun quiz night, all about movies and films.
Yes.
So be on that.
Yeah.
Show us how many movies and films you know.
I feel like that's like the only, because I watched so much stuff during lockdown and everything. We might actually have a good shot.
Yeah,
now.
maybe. Bit
Might actually
confident.
be able to get over like 5 maybe at least.
That's the main goal right now.
Yeah.
That's 5 is the
Just
goal.
getting over 5.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I wish you luck. Let us
Thank
know
you.
next week. Beat
That
your
I
5.
will.
Yeah, we'll let you know how
I
it
will.
goes.
Definitely.
Okay, so happy weekend, everybody, and we shall see you next week.
Yeah. Have a
Bye
good
for now.
weekend. Bye.
Take care.